Carson Student Athlete Center in the Schaefer Sports Hall of Fame. It's time for Sun Devil Extra. Braden Bell joined alongside ASU AD Graham Rossini, who's looking very sharp today. I missed the memo on the suit assignment today, so I apologize. I like the maroon look, though, Graham.
Thanks, Braden.
Yeah, it's a really good look for you. I commented as well. Sorry, I'm like really going in on the outfit here, but the maroon accents, yeah, to the dress shirt.
You know, our guy Doug.
Okay.
We featured Doug on this show, haven't we?
We have talked about him after the Tillman Leadership Council.
He makes us all look good.
Yeah, big time stuff. I'm a little.
Shout out to Doug Carlton.
I feel like I'm out of place, but that's okay.
He could help you.
I'm gonna have to get his card.
Broadcast NIL.
Ooh.
Number one innovation, baby.
I've been dreaming of this for years. Fun show ahead today. We'll be talking water polo with their season getting going in just about a week or so, and that'll be a fun conversation with Coach Pardi. But first, we start with some hoops, and the son of a women's basketball team will be back at home this weekend. A setback against a nationally ranked TCU squad over the weekend, but you know, Graham, you never want to lose games, of course. But it was a bit of an eye-opening experience in Fort Worth, and now a chance to kind of establish themselves against Kansas on their home floor on Saturday afternoon. And it seems like sometimes those are the losses that can kind of wake a team up, get them going again.
Yeah. If you're going to lose a game, what do you learn from the games that you lose? And TCU's a great program. Well-established in our conference now, hovering around the top 10 most of the year. Really good, really established, and that's the goal. That's where we're building our program to, and it was cool. Their head coach had a shout-out to Molly and her coaching staff after the game. I thought that was a really neat message, great sportsmanship, mutual respect across the programs, and they've got a relationship that goes back many years in the coaching community. But, yeah, I mean, it's good to see the programs that you emulate, good to see the programs that you want to grow into, and at this point in the season, there's so many benefits from coming off a game like that, and just the things that the coaching staff can tighten up as a result. And we get a favorable home schedule coming up, and so extended week to get some fresh legs. And yeah, I think a lot of takeaways that will come from a loss like that. One thing I learned about Coach Miller, she doesn't like losing. And we have 20 plus head coaches, and so each of them have a different personality. Each of them have different love languages, and hers is not text after a loss. I learned that after the first loss of the season. We've joked about it since then, and so I talked to her a day after, and she was locked in, like just perspective. Really had a chance to digest what happened, was back to the drawing board, was out doing some recruiting earlier this week with some really exciting talent that we're deep in on the recruiting front as well. And so, everybody kind of gets through those moments differently, but it's been exciting to see her coaches say, like, hey, it happened. Let's use it for what we can. Let's be better with our preparation for the next game. Let's reinforce some things that we need to do better, and let's make some shots. So shout out Noemi, Player of the Year, Big 12 volleyball.
Friend of the program.
Hey, when Noemi's on the show, good things have happened.
Yeah.
That's a good omen. I don't know what day of the week it is, but Noemi just walked by, and that's a good sign for whatever's coming next.
Shooting on a Wednesday will be revealed on a Thursday.
Hey, this is a good Wednesday to have a good omen.
Yeah, and she's right off screen right now. One of the premier student athletes.
Cameo.
She might even come in the
first
shot.
Spring cameo.
This is huge. Noemi, thanks for coming back on the show. Here you are, start of offseason. I know you just had the banquet as well. How was the banquet and the end of things on this season?
It's been amazing, honestly, just having like 4 new girls that we can kind of start to get ready and get to know, starting lifts this week. So just getting back into the groove of things is fun.
Any basketball background?
Me, I played for a middle school team with one of my best friends.
Hey,
her dad
athletes are
was the
athletes.
coach.
Athletes are athletes.
We'll see. Number one innovation.
There you go. Thanks for,
on the team.
cameo-wise, you're now – Cam Scattaboo joined the show once as a cameo.
Okay.
You're right there with Scat now.
Hey, what up?
Yeah, literally. Thanks for joining us,
me.
Noemi. And thanks to Noemi, who has a basketball background.
And it's going to study hall, most importantly.
Student athlete.
Don't
forget the word that comes first there.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about women's basketball, but it's a nice little segue. Saturday at 2 p.m. against Kansas.
Yep.
We'll be their next home game. And I think for me, the start of this season got so much buzz, deservingly so, historic start. And now you settle into conference play. You lose a game like that against TCU, but now you get to really kick things off for that home schedule. Like you said, it's a favorable stretch coming up.
Yeah, and a credit to the non-conference foundation that this program in this season's had. So that really anchors you very well going into the Big 12, which we know is competitive. Home games really, really matter. And so this Saturday against Kansas, I think it's a 2:00 game. It's a great time to be on campus. There's not a lot going on this weekend at home versus last weekend where it felt like every sport under the sun competing. So come out Saturday, 2:00, women's hoops versus Kansas, really big home game, and getting them back on track, getting them back in that winning way. Again, the way that this schedule sets up with a lot of home games down the stretch, a lot of home games in a fun environment, a very growing environment for our women's basketball home games. So, excited to get them back out there. And you don't want that maybe extended delay after a loss. You want to get back out there, but I know they're using this week for a good purpose, and they'll be locked in and ready to go on Saturday.
Yeah, that's the question. When I talked to Molly and some of the student athletes before the game, I'm going to say that this long layoff, I'm sure Molly probably liked it. I'm sure the players definitely did not.
Yeah.
Having to wait to get back out on the floor. I know those practices have probably been pretty intense leading up to it. You know, we talk so much about conference schedules, and it seems like in hockey, water polo that we're talking about today, obviously men's basketball specifically, maybe the best conference in the country for all of those sports. But we talk men's basketball now, and a schedule this week on the road for Bobby Hurley's bunch, Arizona on Wednesday night as we're recording this, so we won't talk too much about that one because it will be over by the time we release this show. But then Saturday, or Sunday, I should say, against Houston on the road, another top 10 team. And it just goes to show just how deep the Big 12 is at men's basketball.
Yeah, I saw a social media clip yesterday. I think we have 4 Big 12 teams in the top 10.
Yep.
2 combined losses amongst the 4 teams. We're in the midst of playing 3 of the 4 of those right now, all on the road. So, really getting battle tested out the gate. But I thought the K-State win told you a lot about this team. I mean, that was a program in a similar spot as ours right now. A solid non-conference out the gate. Needing some wins to kind of keep that momentum, keep that confidence going. And so, real back and forth game, real high intensity there. Got out of it with a win at home. Really important to have that. And then you look up, taking on the number 1 team in the country. That'll be a fun atmosphere. Obviously very heated in the way that those games can be. And then you get rewarded by going to Houston this weekend. So keeping their focus, keeping them locked in, I think that's where the repetition and the sharpness will really matter. Getting some guys healthy, getting them back on the court. I know we tend to talk about that a lot in men's basketball as of late, but they're getting sharpened right now. And so battle tested early, the lessons learned that come from that. You get through kind of this intensity in the schedule right now, and you look up and, hey, home games on the horizon,
Sure.
Games where we actually match up very favorably on the horizon. And so got to convert those opportunities when they're there and, get through this next really difficult stretch. Like, go steal a win. Go steal a win on the road. That could ignite this team. That could ignite this program in some very, very, very powerful ways. So excited to see how they do. Excited to see how they compete. Big 12 basketball is no joke, and we're seeing that both on the men's and women's side. And it's been fun to see the attention. It's been fun to really sharpen our focus and sharpen the things that we need to do, feeding these programs, making sure that both have the tools to be successful, because I don't see Big 12 basketball going a different direction anytime soon.
We've talked so much about Mo Odom on this show, and deservingly so. Played well against K-State as well. But how about a little love for Masamba Diop, big fellow, freshman. He was on the Big 12 starting 5 team, which is kind of like a weekly award thing that the Big 12 puts out every week. Last week alone, he averaged 21 points and 9 rebounds per game. This is from a freshman.
Yep.
His future, obviously, his potential is through the roof, and he's showing it now in conference play, which is extremely impressive.
Well, it's been fun to watch him progress, even the first half of the season. And, think about a young man coming from Africa, halfway across the world, didn't have great command of English, fluent in 4 languages. English was not one of them. And now he's really improved his English proficiency. We've got a number of people here in the department that have been very hands-on in that effort, helping him assimilate to our culture, fit in with his teammates, be able to communicate in their native language. And so that's all in addition to the basketball part. And so, welcome to America. You're in the Big 12, and now you're same thing, getting that battle-tested mindset every single time out. So, can't say enough about him as a very physical, very exciting talent on this roster, and having some success within the conference play is something that you get absolutely very excited about.
Yeah, no doubt about that. He's been a lot of fun to watch, and I think, seeing it in early non-conference play was exciting, but to now see it against the premier competition that is the Big 12, it just goes to show Masamba Diop is a name you got to remember, not only for the rest of this year, but moving forward as well. On to ASU hockey now, who competed over the weekend against Miami, Ohio in NCHC play. It was a weekend split, an overtime loss, so you still got a point there.
Yep.
And then a really impressive 1-0 shutout, and a big shout-out to Samuel Urban, who had 37 saves in that 1-0 win over Miami of Ohio. Now they get the week off, no competition before they're back at home next weekend. So the schedule's setting up similarly to what we just said about women's basketball, where you're getting some home competition in a row now and looking to make a run in conference play.
Yeah, I mean, big weekend at home, goaltending clinic on both sides of the ice. Shout out to Miami. Their goaltender played both games and had maybe 70 combined saves, I feel like. And so really, for our team who had been playing very hot, Tyler and Alex did a great job on the call, and I think they pointed out that we're one of 4 programs with 8 wins over the last 2 months or so, top of the nation at that mark. And so, Miami comes in and really defends their net at a high level. The point mattered on Friday. Glad that we were able to tie that game late in the third. Unfortunate to lose it in overtime, but getting the point at that point was important. And then the win on Saturday, obviously very important. So NCHC, best conference in America, no doubt. We're seeing that real time. Every point's going to matter. You look at that conference and it's wide open. We could be a couple points away from second. We could be sitting there 8th and 9th at the same time. So maintain that focus, maintain that intensity, maintain the physicality. Same thing, young team, finding their way, finding that kind of dynamic, establishing roles, a lot of good hockey in front of them, and same thing, a lot of home games on the horizon. So starting to get a theme of how things really set up nicely moving in deeper into the spring, but a team that's got big tournament aspirations is built for that. Survive in advance, survive each weekend, get deeper in the conference, keep climbing the standings, and see where that nets us out in March and April.
And trying to peak at the right time as well, right?
Sure.
And that's obviously something they've talked a lot about.
It's a great point. I think we have an excellent chance to do that just based on, I said it before, younger players getting established in their roles, getting guys healthy, getting guys kind of clear on where that momentum's going to come from, and then peaking at the right time. Absolutely. Our best hockey is in front of us. I'm certain of that reality.
And you get the week off, like we said, North Dakota, which is always a fun matchup in Tempe. I know they love coming down here to the desert this time of year.
A lot of green coming our way.
No doubt about it. That'll be next week, and, of course, over at Mullet. Graham, we were talking about football last week on the show, kind of putting a bow on the year, and there's just been so much excitement about the transfer portal and all the new faces and names coming into this program. A lot of buzz around that, so you got to talk about that again this week. And I think it just goes to show the forward momentum, right? It's just continued for this program really over the last 3 years, but into this portal class, I think it's almost taken another step nationally in terms of people noticing the names and the people coming into this Sun Devil football program.
Yeah, really great buzz around the momentum of this transfer portal class, and the guys that are coming back, and credit to the coaching staff for staying in front of those conversations, really having a sense of who's committed to the program, who wants to be a part of what we're building, and then being able to launch that knowledge right into the transfer portal. So it opens on the 2nd. Those guys are working phone calls and relationships and DMs and everything they can to establish contact with attractive, exciting talent that's been reciprocating with excitement to come to ASU. There's a lot of kids that had multiple opportunities to go to established programs in other conferences, but they want to be a part of what we're doing here. They want to play for this coaching staff, and it's been really fun to see. I mean, sports is a small industry ultimately, and everybody's a degree or two separated from everybody else, and the unsolicited feedback I keep getting from other people in college football, other people in the NFL, other people with agencies are, man, this roster is loaded. This is really exciting. There's great momentum. The coaches have reiterated that as well, that there's a buzz in the football building right now about can't wait to get on the field, can't wait to get this team out there and really see what they can do together. A lot of complementary pieces, a lot of exciting high-end talent, a lot of depth, a lot of kids who want to be here for all the right reasons, and they're fired up to play for this coaching staff.
The only bad news about this is we have to wait so many months to get it actually in front of the fans, but that's okay. It's a lot of time to visualize what can happen.
Absolutely.
And there is a lot of excitement. I think one of the biggest things that fans are excited about and love about transfer portal season, whatever you want to call it, is Twitter and social media. It's always buzzing, right? Brian Carrington, new assistant head coach, he is a great follow in terms of what he does on Twitter specifically, and in the transfer portal. It's been fun to follow.
Maybe the best non-graphic designer in the building at harnessing the power of AI.
I
I saw a picture of him with 12 arms and 12 cell phones and 12 energy drinks. And I know he's got kind of a theme of every day in the portal. There's a different look. There was Chef Brian cooking in Texas. So
airport security, I think.
Yeah.
TSA agent.
I like it.
It's awesome.
A man of many talents.
Yeah, the AI, man.
Kyla, what's up, Kyla?
We've got all the Kyla Presley, another volleyball star, walking through. The right side hitters, both Noemi Glover. Anyways, one more topic. Where they call home, volleyball, as well as basketball, wrestling, gymnastics.
That's good.
Thank you. That
Way
was
to go.
my first one of the day. I had
He's
to
got
kind of
locked
get it
in.
in there.
Week 2, he's locked back in.
That's right. Let's talk about the renovations to DFA. I know there's some exciting updates to come along with that. Of course, we've talked about the plan before, but some renderings to come out, and obviously starting to get the ball rolling on some of those plans.
Yeah, we start a really critical phase in May as soon as high school graduation wraps up in Desert Financial Arena. So chomping at the bit to get underway with the next set of upgrades that we're going to make there. Again, focusing on the telescoping seats, taking the court out, redoing a lot of the infrastructure under the court before we put a new surface down, and then start to redo the court side seats, different products, different opportunities, more opportunities, a better seat, more comfortable, and then that telescoping seat. And then as we look at the next 2 rounds of renovations, we start interviews this week. So Thursday and Friday, we'll be interviewing contractors and architects to really keep this vision progressing. And we've talked about it a little bit before, but that kind of bottom to top renovation where we cover all aspects of it, build an incredible fan experience in there for all the sports that compete, knowing that graduation is really important to take place in that building. There's a chance that live music comes back in the conversation, and there's a great history and heritage with music in that arena as well. So can't wait to spend a lot of time end of the week talking to companies about their vision for the space, how we can continue to really elevate everything we do, and certainly that building is ready for it. So exciting. We've got a couple views of what basketball and volleyball are going to look like next fall when we get back, and we'll keep sharing those on the show as well. But fun 48 hours coming up here pretty soon.
It's a long project. It's an arduous process, but certainly it will be exciting when it's all said and done.
Absolutely.
Years down the line. So it's going to be really cool. I had to keep you guys updated on that. A program getting ready to start their year is water polo, an outdoor sport that is maybe one of the more physical sports in all of Sun Devil Athletics. Their coach, Petra Pardi, will be joining us when we come back on Sun Devil Extra. Back here on Sun Devil Extra, and it's hard to believe we're already showing up to spring sports, but alas, here we are. Weather's turning. It's a beautiful time to be in Tempe, and we're talking water polo today. Petra Pardi, the head coach of ASU Water Polo, joining us on the show. Coach, season gets going in just about a week, a little over at this point. How are things going? How excited are you to get started?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and very excited to get going and for that first whistle to blow so we can finally see what we've done this entire offseason. It's been grueling. I think the girls at this point hate to see me come every morning that, she's still here. What fresh hell is it going to be today? But I think we're all very excited to finally get going.
You know, you hear it all the time in so many different sports. It's the week or two before the season starts. Sometimes it's the toughest because, like you said, it's the training. You want to see another team. How have you seen your squad kind of respond to the time you're in right now?
They are responding very well. I mean, it's hard to come back after 2 weeks off for Christmas, and then we are right into what we call our Hell Week of training camp, 7 days of training camp, and now immediately into first day of school with sorting out class schedules and, just the anticipation of now every mistake that we make on practice. Now it's, just to keep our heads level, to not go too far down, that if, this big mistake is going to be completely detrimental come game time. No, we still have time to work on it, to fix it, and just have to stay the course. Coach,
when you dive into the season, it's not like there's a soft ease in. You're getting right into the action. First one, obviously, January 24th, so coming up. Cal Baptist will be in town at Mona Plummer, but got some big tournaments coming up early on in the year, UC San Diego being one of them, of course. To start off the year like that with a flurry of great competition and also some challenges for your squad, how do you think that'll help you down the line?
I think everything that we do from first day forward, from even off-season, first day forward, and throughout the season, it's to play our best water polo come April and late in the season. So everything is building incrementally. We scheduled the most amount of home games I think we've ever played at home, which is awesome, and we are very, very excited to play in front of a home crowd in Mona Plummer, to have the home field advantage. We are hosting 3 tournaments. We're going to Triton Invitational in San Diego. And it's going to be a very tough tournament. And then right into conference games, which if anyone follows water polo, we play in the toughest conference in the country. So number 1, 2, 3, and 4 nationally are number 1, 2, 3, and 4 in our conference. So kind of keeping our eyes on those games, that everything that we do early in the season, as far as rotations, as far as tactics, as far as game experience, is building up to those conference games and to finish strong in MPSF.
You know, you mentioned the tough conference. It's kind of a trend throughout the entire athletic department, playing in tough conferences, regardless of sport. You know, you have some really great returners coming back. A couple of honorable mention All-Americans last year, and Millie Quinn and Itziar Almeida coming back. Obviously, that boosts your roster to have those returners. What have you seen in their growth over the offseason, and what do you expect from them this year as well?
Both of them are very experienced players, and I think they were our number 1 and number 2 point scorers last season. So it's great that we have them back with their experience. Millie Quinn had a tough off season. She at Senior World Championships this past summer, she tore her ACL, so she was out for most of the fall. But if you came to practice today, tomorrow, you would not be able to tell that. She underwent the surgery and the whole recovery process. She's playing some of the best water polo I've ever seen her play. And Itziar, we call her Scooby. She's brilliant. Her water polo IQ is one of the highest I've ever seen or had the pleasure of coaching. So she's a tough one to guard.
You know, you look at those two names, and obviously those are some that opponents are going to circle in the scouting report, but then there's so much youth. That is really the word. 9 new freshmen coming in that are expected to play big roles on this squad. You know, coaching youth, there are pros and cons, I'm sure, but what has this freshman class been like?
Without sounding partial, I think this is the best freshman class we've ever had in program history. Every single one of them are very experienced, both on the U.S. Junior Junior Olympics level, as well as internationally. They are going to be contributors right off the bat. Pretty much our entire starting line, most of our starting line will be true freshmen. We have our first Olympian as a true freshman. So keep an eye on us. We have the freshman class to build on to for the next 4 years to come.
And you just said it is building on. Obviously, this year you have that talent, but moving forward into next year and the year after, really look out as those players continue to grow. You know, of those 9 freshmen, we were chatting right before we started here, 3 of them are going to be heading to the Senior European Championships, which unfortunately means they will not be with the team at the start of the year. So not great for ASU's water polo team in the short term, might be great in the long term.
Exactly.
Obviously an awesome opportunity for those individually, but you know, how do you kind of balance the schedule with the way it's worked out?
I mean, it's less than ideal to miss 3 of our major contributors that we are going to heavily lean on later in the season at the beginning. But at the same time, I think it's a great experience for everybody else, you know, to get into the rotation, to get meaningful minutes early on and to continue to develop, to continue to put our game together. And when they come back, then we're all the better, because now we're even deeper in the we can rotate even deeper into the subbing and the rotation. So wish them all good luck, and I know they're gonna do us proud as Sun Devils, and very excited for them.
It just puts the program on the map even more, right? And
Exactly.
That's what it's all about. You know, I'm curious in terms of alumni coaches. It's all over the athletic department. You being an alum as well, Coach Van Buren, who's on the staff, an alum, played in this program. You know, so how special is it for both of you specifically to be coaching at your alma mater, but also around the program that you were a part of? It's a pretty rare feat, I'd say.
Yeah, it is. And actually, Luca Petovari, our graduate assistant coach, she's also an alum of the program. So all 3 of us have gone through and have done our fair share of 4 years in contribution to the program. It's really fun. I had the pleasure of coaching both of them when they were athletes in their playing days, and they were standout, not just athletes, but teammates and leaders. And I'm very lucky that they felt the same pull as I did to become coaches and to want to coach here at ASU, only the greatest place ever to coach at. So it's very special. We are a very tight-knit coaching staff, obviously, for going years back and so many years of shared experiences. And yeah.
You know, I've got one more for you, Coach, before we let you go. The endurance and the physicality of this sport always blows my mind. Just watching it.
Tough.
So when you describe Hell Week, that scares me.
As it should.
Yeah, as it should. So take us behind the scenes there. Like, what does that look like in the lead up to the season in that tough endurance training week?
Yeah, we do a ton of conditioning, obviously. We do swimming, a lot of swim conditioning in the afternoon. They do a little bit of conditioning in the weight room as well. They're lifting every day. We're basically right off the bat going up and down playing water polo, and just kind of however we can make their 2.5 hours with us every morning and every afternoon as miserable as possible. And I take a lot of joy in that because I think, my job is to prepare them for the physicality that we will need against the Stanford, the USA, UCLA, or Cal. This team especially is taking on very, very well to understanding that the tempo and the intensity has to be there at practices every single day, or else it's never going to be there on game day. So they're very mature, despite the nine of them being freshmen. They're very, very mature. They want to work hard. They want to do the hard things. And do they love it when I give them the workout, what the day is going to be? No, but at the end of it, they're like, yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. I'm exhausted, but that was really fun to do. So it's a great group to coach.
And I just know as a coach, it's exactly what you want to hear.
It's
right?
exactly what I want to hear. That's right.
Tell you what, the final build-up is here, January 24th, the start of water polo season, and keep an eye on this program, not only this year, but moving forward with such a young and exciting group. Coach Pardi, thanks for joining us, and good luck this year.
Thank you so much for having me.
Back here with ASU AD Graham Rossini, final segment of the show today. I'm Braden Bell, and Graham, certainly exciting to talk about Son of a Water Polo, another one of those programs that maybe doesn't get talked about as much as they should. An exciting freshman class coming in, and I know I said at the end of your first segment, it's such a physical, daunting sport. If you've never gone out and watched them at Mona Plummer, I do recommend it. It's a quick sport, doesn't take all that long.
A lot of action.
You got to appreciate exactly the action and just the overall stamina of these student athletes.
I would say I totally agree. It might be one of our most physically impressive sports because they are treading water, swimming, advancing, throwing the ball, defending a net. It is top to bottom physicality. And I was watching a couple of games last year with Jake Garrity, our strength coach, who does an incredible job with a number of our sports, including water polo. And I'm like, Jake, how do you condition them? He's like, we got to do it all. Like, it's core strength, it's lower body, it's upper body, it's flexibility and agility. I mean, they are consummate athletes in that sport. It's pretty impressive to watch.
As Coach was talking about their Hell Week right now, leading into their start of the season, I want no part of that. But respect to the student athletes for
Sounds
going
fun.
through that. It didn't sound fun when she talked about it. Not to me, at least. I'd rather be watching them work from my couch, I guess. But whatever. Moving on now to a national championship opportunity this week. Very exciting. The UDA National Championships. The dance team is off on their way, traveling as we record this. On Wednesday, an opportunity for them to get back out there after a couple of years away from it, and a really fun opportunity for them.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and there's been a lot of buzz locally around the return of ASU to UDA in Orlando, and we had an incredible send-off Monday night at Desert Financial Arena. We'll share a couple clips of that too, but incredible crowd. I mean, it started when I went home for dinner, drove back for the event, pulled in the parking lot, and I was like, is there hockey going on? There just couldn't find a parking spot anywhere. And then walked in the arena and looked up to the crowd and just jam-packed. It's probably 3 times as big as the send-off we had last year. A lot of the local studios were in attendance, a lot of the high schools that are very competitive in dance as well, and just another point of pride for the department. And they're going to compete at the highest level of what they do. They are athletes, they are artists, they are dancers. Pretty incredible to see the continued elevation of that program. They're getting more attention, and now they're back in the Super Bowl of dance competition, and can't wait to watch them represent.
You know, they're everything you just described, and they're also there for every other program on a nightly basis. So it was cool to see. I saw the women's basketball team was out there at the send-off. You know, it's great to see those other programs reciprocate the support, I should say, that they get from the dance team all the time. So pretty special stuff.
Absolutely. I agree.
Another guy that, we mentioned the national championships for the dance team, but how about the wrestling team and Caleb Lerman? Larkin.
Yep.
What he did over the weekend, he was fantastic. Bulked up to a new weight class, which first off, not an easy thing to do, and then took down the #1 wrestler in the country out of West Virginia. So he's showing his versatility.
Yep.
Of course, that's a bloodline, the Larkin family, wrestling-wise, and certainly they have the opportunity to, Caleb has the opportunity to really make some noise moving forward.
Yeah, I was looking around the lobby here. There's a picture of Eric, his father, somewhere in this space, maybe not that far from where we're sitting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you totally agree. For him to move up a weight class, be taking down the #1 wrestlers in that weight field, pretty impressive with what they're doing. If you look at the wrestling record, it is misleading because a lot of the head-to-head dual competitions may not reflect the talent on this roster, but this is a team built for the national tournament coming up in March, and we've got half a dozen guys that could place in the highest level of it, and really a good stretch with Iowa State, West Virginia. I think we've got Missouri coming in later this week. So a lot of excitement on the wrestling room, and a roster that's turned over. I mean, that was a very veteran roster the last couple of years, just with guys graduating and moving on. A lot of new faces in there, but when you've got the pedigree of the Larkin family plugging in, you've got some other guys that have had their sights set on coming to ASU. And I learned something about David Scuba this week, one of our wrestlers who's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
He's a soap salesperson or salesman. He mills his own soap.
Wow.
And it's been incredibly successful. He's been doing it for years, and now he's plugged in with an initiative here at ASU called SportX, and they're helping him build out the business. They're helping him showcase. They're helping him get seed funding and grant money. And so, again, consummate student athletes, not just wrestlers, students, businessmen, entrepreneurs. Pretty cool to see as well.
David's a friend of the show as well.
There you go.
I should have asked him about it there at the time, but that's really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And just to see the diversity and the multitude of talents that so many of these student athletes bring to the table, it's really special, obviously in their respective sports, but also outside of those sports, and David's another really good example of
Yeah,
this.
and I think oftentimes, especially with what's going on in the football transfer portal right now, a lot of maybe overlooking the benefit of what it is to be a student athlete right now, and the access and the opportunities that they can nurture for those who want to make investments, those that are entrepreneurial minded and want to create something and utilize their brand and their access and the reach that they have as a student athlete at a place like ASU to connect and create something. Kate Fitzgerald's an example that has been very successful at ASU. She's now into her professional career doing big things, but somebody who's been on the show in the past of, the football portal maybe skews the perception of what a student athlete can go do through these opportunities and the output there. Football players are doing as well, don't get me wrong. But
Sure.
the numbers and maybe the sensational nature of what that appears optically on the outside world versus how athletes are really utilizing this opportunity. I say it all the time, never been a better time to be a place like ASU. Power 4 athletic department, Research 1 university, metropolitan area, because they're connecting into all these pockets of support and resources that help them, thrive with the ambitions that they have coming into this environment. It's pretty cool.
This is very well said, and it's absolutely true that there is a lot more that meets the eye or that you might see on social media or in the headlines in terms of being a student athlete in the year 2026. A couple more things schedule-wise before we get you on your way, Graham. Gymnastics, they opened their season last weekend. They're now on the road against Kentucky this weekend, so good luck to gymnastics. And then men's and women's tennis. Men's tennis got underway, had a really successful weekend this past weekend, and now they'll be back in action this weekend. They'll take on... it seems like USC in women's tennis as well over the weekend is where they'll get going. So good luck to both those programs. And last but certainly not least, normally little inside baseball here, we discuss these beforehand, but Sun Devil for Life of the Week. Do you have one? I've got one. If you don't, I'll help you out here.
I'm gonna go a little rogue on the segment. I do have Sun Devil for Life. I saw them this morning, 2 of them.
Okay.
They're technically now letter winners. Keith Abney, Jordan Tyson.
Beautiful.
Working out at a local facility. We had a meeting. Just coincidentally, we walked in the facility at the same time, and
wow.
They're there getting ready for the combine and getting after it. Both are still working on finishing their degree at ASU, but shifting their attention to get ready for the draft. So technically, they're letter winners now.
Yep.
That would qualify them as a Sun Devil for Life. We also have a new addition to our department, Randy Polakar.
Okay.
Longtime sports information director, is now back as a assistant director of growth and traditions. He's going to really harness the heritage and the history of this athletics department. It's going to help put a fresh spin on the Carson and the Schaefer Family Hall of Fame here in the lobby. Look at all the different ways that we can tell our history and content creation, different exhibits and different displays that we have around our facilities. And so, Randy has stayed close to the Sun Devils even when he wasn't working here, but it's fired up to be back joining the team, and fired up to have another teammate that just loves this place as much as many of us do. And he'll help us really amplify the story, the traditions, and keep adding to it as we go. So Randy's plugging back in. And then I've found out, so we have an honorary Sun Devil in my family, my mother-in-law, Norma.
Yep.
Religiously watches the show.
Norma, thank you.
Often at our house.
Oh.
And so she's hanging out with our kids, and I'll walk in and she's watching the show. So shout out to Norma. And if nothing else, we have viewership at all levels. She's a Washington State alum. Her daughter obviously played volleyball here. We've converted her. She's officially a Sun Devil. Helps us navigate the chaos of life these days with young kids and busy careers. But we love you, and we thank you for watching.
We do love you, Norma, and we know the show is always playing in the Rossini house, so that's good to know.
Yeah. We're good for clicks.
It's really good for clicks. One for me, I've got James Harden, who passed Wilt Chamberlain
cool.
for the all-time.
And Shaq. Did he pass Shaq?
He's about to pass Shaq.
About to pass Shaq.
In terms of all-time points scored. And then keeping in the basketball, lineage, how about Jeff Ayers?
Yeah.
My guy, broadcasting a lot with him now on the G League broadcast.
He's doing great.
He's doing so much better. Yeah, and not that he was ever struggling, but he's improving so much. He's very coachable.
He's a competitor.
He is.
Right? You could tell he's just honing the craft game by game, week by week. And how cool is it to see him? He's at a lot of events. I see him all the time now.
Yeah.
But for him to be able to speak about the game with his lived experience, as NBA champion, Sun Devil Hall of Famer, describing the game that he knows so well for our fans is pretty cool.
He loves it, too. He has so much fun with it. I have fun working with him as well. One quick announcement before we send you on your way. Next week, we're going to be an unprecedented wrinkle. We say roadshow a lot on this program. It might be like us walking over to DFA, maybe Mullet, maybe Papago. But no, we're going across the pond. I am not. But this guy right here is.
Going to Germany.
Going to Germany.
Going to Germany.
We will not be doing the show in German, so don't worry. But that's really exciting.
Yeah. It is exciting. Adidas, great partner of ours. We're going to go see their headquarters and visit with their leadership. We've got a couple of things that we'll be doing in and around Germany, and then we'll end up in London as part of our site visit, getting ready for the Union Jack Classic in Wembley Stadium in September. We're going to blink, and it's going to be here. So we've got a trip with a number of people from football and the athletic department and the university that are getting ready for that trip. So we figure don't let a continent apart separate us from Sun Devil Extra.
I love it. No, and I'm excited to do the show from that distance. But safe travels to you.
Thank you.
And a flight that long, what's your plan? You sleeping most of the time?
I got to catch up on email still.
Okay.
I mean, if the email on a message board is a thing, so I'm still trying to dig my way out of the emails I actually need to be spending time on. So we're following up with everybody that reached out. That's been great. That's how we're having some great success in the portal and otherwise. Fundraising for facilities, Sun Devil Nation stepping up. It's been awesome to see. But 13 hours in the air gives you some time to catch up on some things that maybe are harder to do during the day. So we'll utilize it.
No time
We'll
to
go
sleep.
into the future. Man, we got too much to do.
I love it.
We got too much to do.
It's the attitude we love from this man right here. Big thanks for joining us today. Norma's going to watch this episode, we know, so enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. And we'll talk to you next week with Graham in Germany. I'll be right here in Tempe on Sunday.